Silva, the three-time NCAA qualifier, only wrestled in 2 matches last season. And Taye Ghadiali in his 7th year from Warren, Michigan. Now closer to home, wrestling for the Maize and Blue in Ann Arbor after spending 6 years in Campbell. Was super successful for the Camels. 3-time SoCon champion. An All-American for Scotty Sentis. Now TJ Dudley, former Cornhusker, the head coach at Bowie's Creek.
That's right. And doing a great job down there, taking over. You know, this match is a great matchup. I think these two have been around for a while. You know, with Taye finding recent success at Campbell before transferring, but Yonger's been one of those guys. He's been right there. He's been a showstopper, beating some high-level opponents, but he just is in a weight class that's been surrounded by exceptional wrestlers, from Wyatt Hendrickson to Greg Kirkfleet to Mason Paris, to Gable Steveson, right? Like all of these wrestlers, he's just been behind. But now it looks like the weight class has cleared out a little bit, and he's got an opportunity to go and take charge. And
if you remember, in 2024, he was 26-0, heading into the national quarterfinals. And Lucas Davison hit a takedown late to beat him. And then he got beat by Yaroslav Slavakovsky and failed to make the podium. He was so close, literally probably a second and a half away from being in the semifinals. And who knows how his tournament would have ended.
The hardest thing about wrestling, Shane, is in other sports, let's say the World Series, right? We're watching the Blue Jays and the Dodgers in the World Series.
Game 7 going on right now.
And you get a day. Though you get a day, you lose, you fly back on your private jet, you're in a new city, you get to go have a great dinner, recap with your coaches, review, and go back and make some adjustments. In wrestling, you've got to come back the same day, sometimes as soon as an hour later, to come back and compete after a loss. That's really difficult to do mentally, to get back in a good place, ready to compete.
Bastida's so good on his feet. 2 years ago, scored 102 takedowns, only gave up 6. 3rd season at heavyweight. He was at 197 for his first 3 years. He was an All-American as a redshirt freshman when he was 5th place down at 197. I compare his career somewhat to Anthony Echemendia. So much talent. I mean, they are as good as anybody, but it just hasn't all clicked probably exactly the way they wanted it to. I expect breakout seasons from both of them this season.
Yeah, I think so, and Iowa State's really done a good job of reloading, in particular for this season, right? They had a fairly poor performance at last year's NCAA championships, but now they got all their big dogs back in their lineup, and they're ready to make some noise this year.
When I say breakout seasons, more specifically getting on the podium, placing high. Derek St. John in the corner for Bastida. Kevin Dresser here as well, now in his 9th season in Ames, his 20th season overall. He was at Virginia Tech, as we talked about earlier. They were 4th in 2024. They won the Big 12 in 2024. A little bit of a setback last season, but battled some injuries, Bastida being one of those guys. But they have a really solid team, really solid team. Bastida, a Big 12 champion in 2024. He's placed 3 times at that tournament. There's Olympic champion Kevin Jackson.
Looks like his headgear is broken. Bastida's strap harness broke on his headgear. They had to run and get him additional headgear. We'll see if he can fit it.
You look at that Iowa State coaching staff with Kevin Dresser, Derek St. John, Brent Metcalf. I mean, those are all Iowa national champs. I can't wait. You want to talk about a great match? Iowa State, Iowa this year in Ames, end of November. That'll be a good one.
You know what? And I'll be there, likely. You know what's one of the things is that I've seen is coaching trees are extensive for really 2 guys in particular. One of them is Dan Gable, and the other is John Smith.
Yes.
Right, those guys have head coaches all over the country. Too many to count who have been influenced.
You mentioned Tony Ersland earlier. He wrestled
University of Iowa.
At Iowa.
Right, there's so many guys. Tom Ryan, Tony Ersland, Kevin Dresser, Doug Schwab. There's so many guys that have been affected by, you know, the leadership of that Iowa program. And then Oklahoma, the same thing. You know, you've got Neil Arizman and David Taylor,
Pat Popolizio,
and Mark Branch. Chris Pendleton. They're just an insane number of guys who have been influenced by the level of coaching. You know, they say great leaders don't make followers, they make other great leaders. And so, you know, when you build guys up, it's tough because you want to keep them. They're helping your program grow, and you want to keep them in-house, but it's a good problem to have when you've built guys up to such a level that they become coveted by other programs.
And probably going to start seeing that more with Penn State.
That's right. And Cale is a wizard. He's a mastermind of making people believe in the program, and they stay some a lot longer than they probably should. But he does a really good job at convincing people that it's bigger than themselves, and they've kept a ton of talent inside of the room. And it looks like David was really the first chip to fall and say, you know what, I'm going to go out there and venture and try to see what else is out there for me. And I think that we'll likely see a little bit more of that moving forward. But man, he's done a great job in building guys who have great reputations and who are going to go on and coach great programs.
All right, back at it, 49 seconds here in the first period. A lot of hand fighting here in this opening frame. Bastida, 2019 Junior World Silver. He was U23 World Bronze that same year as well. Short time inside of 30 seconds. Ghadiali over 100 wins in his career. Was 8th place in 2024 with a 36-6 record. Second All-American in program history for the Camels. Bastida, heavy on the head of Ghadiali. You look at the transfer portal, Jordan. Michigan at heavyweight. They had Mason Paris, of course, and then they bring in Lucas Davison from Northwestern, makes the national final.
Yep.
Was it Heinzelman last year? A really good season for him, coming from Oklahoma. Now you bring in Taye Ghadiali from Campbell, an All-American.
Yeah, they've done a great job in the transfer portal. Really, they were one of the teams that started this whole thing, right? They were the first team. They brought in Shane Griffith, right? They brought in all of these guys. And I can't remember what year they brought in Nick Sirianno. Right, they
Lachlan
bring in
McNeil. We saw him earlier tonight.
McNeil. They bring in, you know, DeAugustino and all of these guys into their program, and they do a phenomenal job of helping those guys find success there. But it's been unique to kind of see the way this thing has gone for the Michigan program, because we know that they can go and recruit talent, but we also know they can develop the talent that they have in the room.
Sean Bourmet, one of the best coaches in the country. Job he has done since taking over for the Silver Fox, Coach McFarland. A great year in 2022 when they won the Big Tens and got a trophy in Detroit. Bastida leading it 1-0.
And everyone's journey is so different to being head coach. Right, like you think about Sean Bourmet, I remember when I was coming up, there was a time where he was the head coach at the Overtime Wrestling School.
That was one of the OG wrestling schools.
And then he goes from there to assistant at Michigan and now the head coach. And then you look at a guy like Kevin Dresser, who was the head coach at Christiansburg High School. Down
Scott
in Virginia.
Goodale was a high school coach, I believe.
At Jackson, right here in New Jersey. And so everyone has and then a guy like David Taylor who has no coaching experience at all, but an extraordinary icon and wrestler in his own right in the sport. It's unique to see everyone's pathway to head coaching, but all of them proven performers, and all of these guys are proving that they can be really great coaches as well.
Bastida leading it. Look at that level change from the Cyclone. Bastida trying to make the turn. Ghadiali's got to be careful with that neutral danger. And Bastida inside of 10 seconds looking for the takedown. And they are going to say potentially dangerous.
Yeah, he had that leg locked out. Give him a little kick. He had that leg locked out. Yonger was really close to that. That was similar to the Novak and Little situation, where he's you know, behind the arms, and he's coming out the back door. He's got the leg split, but unfortunately, or fortunately for Ghadiali, he still had the leg there.
Ghadiali wrestled in this event last year inside a rec hall, beat Nick Feldman 8-3. Looking at heavyweight, AJ Ferrari ranked #1, Isaac Trumbull 2nd, Yonger 3rd, Ghadiali 4th, and Ben Keeter of Iowa added some weight. Got healthy over the offseason. Cleared out a little bit, of course, with Gable Stevenson and Wyatt Hendricks, to name a couple. Right into those hips of Taye Ghadiali in a 2-1 match.
And Ghadiali's got him right where he wants him. You know, he's staying in the fight. He's extending positions and really making it hard on Yonger to score. But Yonger he's unfazed by the difficulty here.
Contact adjustment. Yeah, Michigan, you look at that team, Dylan Ragusin, I believe, bumping up to 41. Thanks for joining us tonight here on FloWrestling at the NWCA All-Star Classic. Here's Ghadiali, a golden opportunity on a single leg. This is huge in this match. Looking to finish back trip, and now Bastida. Some wizardry for the Cyclone as he's able to score and make it 5-1.
Way to keep wrestling. That's the name of the game. He extended the scramble, went from leg up on Ghadiali's hip, brings him down to the mat, stuffs head, and then back spins for the takedown. And now he's got him in a really good position. He's got him on the edge. Ghadiali's got to be wise here and get a fresh start.
Yeah, you
got to find a way out.
Keeps that left toe inside the cylinder as long as he can. I mean, Bastida is just a stud.
and the match isn't over here yet, Shane. You know, if you get an escape, you're down 5-2, 3-point takedowns.
First, get that quick escape, and then you need a takedown.
He needs an escape, which he already has proven. He's got one of already this match. He's proven he can get out from bottom.
Caution on Bastida. Coming up, Lucas Bird and Dylan Shawver. Then our main event, Jesse Mendez and another Cyclone and Anthony Echemendia. You're right, still plenty of time, 57 seconds. If you are Ghadiali, you're thinking, got to get that quick escape. And you got to have some confidence with your leg attacks. You're super close to finishing a single leg. So you know you can get there. Here's a challenge break from the Michigan corner as action will stop. So looking for locked hands. You look at the staff too at Michigan, Jordan. You got Kevin Jackson, head coaching experience. Coach Bulliard, I believe he was the head coach at, was it Eastern Michigan?
Yep, Eastern Michigan, that's right. And then
Josh Chiarella.
Josh Chiarella, man.
What a job he's done.
He's, I don't know if he's ever left the state of Michigan. His entire life he spent as a fan from, you know, the Cliff Keen Wrestling Club to his time as a Wolverine. Him and I actually wrestled twice at the NCAA tournament my sophomore season. And he's just a guy I have tremendous respect for. They've done a really, really good job. I mean, they've got beautiful facilities, a great program. It's Michigan is a place that you're like, how could you not want to go?
Comes off the mat.
How could you not want to go to this place?
And they're usually rocking State and Liberty suits in the corner.
That's right. We went to Ann Arbor a few years ago when I was back at Nebraska, and we dropped into a couple of food spots in town that were
They got some great ones. They got a place there that is cheesesteaks. And I know it's not Philly, but I will put it up against the Philly cheesesteak.
Whoa.
Yes, I'm serious, Jordan.
I lived in Philly for the last 4 years, so I'm a cheesesteak connoisseur now. Well, yeah, it's a great city.
I think it's
program.
called Spats. It's
Spats.
really good. I go there every time I go to Ann Arbor.
Okay,
It's
there's
so
another
good.
place called Zingerman's.
Okay,
the
they
sandwich
got that
spot.
deli. They got
Yep,
that deli.
the deli, and there's another burger spot called Frida Batidos.
Okay.
Extraordinary. If you're ever back, find your way to those places. As
Some
they're still
great
around.
restaurants. Short time inside of 15 seconds.
Whoa.
Bastida, another highlight takedown on the edge. And that is going to put this one on ice for the Cyclone.
First takedown, last takedown. That's exactly where you want to be. Great match by Yonger.
Bastida 8-2 over Ghadiali. I got a feeling these two paths will cross again before it's all said and done.
And that match was a lot closer than the score indicates, Shannon. You know, if Ghadiali gets that takedown on the edge, all of a sudden we'll look at an entirely different match.